Guys, what we're going to do in this video is unboxing of a small safe. This is a Blacksmith safe, biometric safe, and there's a few things that I wanted to show you about this safe. If you are considering buying one this size, there's a few things that you need to know that you should do, that you should be aware of. This safe was sent to me by the company, and they wanted me to look at it, to check it out, and to give my thoughts on it. So that's what we're going to do in this video. First step in this, of course, is to get it out of the box. So that's what we're going to do now. This is basically how you get it. Just to show you, it does come well packaged, as you can see there. That way it should not be damaged. You do get your key, you do get some batteries, as well as the instruction manual, just so you guys can see that there. So we're going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Got it setting up on a table here, just moved it over to where we got a little bit better light, and we're going to open this up together for the first time. I have not yet opened the safe. Thought that I would just show it to you guys as I'm opening it up. So we're going to get our keys out, because that's what you've got to open it up with first, is of course the key. You do get two keys with this particular safe, so that way you can have one put up somewhere, and then you can have one if you're going to carry it on you. But again, guys, this is a digital safe that has a lot of features, but in the case the digital electronics fail, you do have a few options. You even have a couple of batteries that comes with it, and you also have a USB cable. And the reason that you have that is underneath here there is a place to where you could plug this in with a USB charger and actually power your safe to unlock if you ever had an issue to where the batteries were dead and so on. So for now, let's just go ahead and get this opened up. You've got this cap here that comes off with the key, and we can open up the safe and see what we get. Okay, comes very well packed with styrofoam. Let's just go ahead and get all of this out of the way. That way it doesn't rattle. You know, that's why they pack this stuff in there. And we'll just get it out. You do get some carpet, and that is for the bottom. Now, one thing a lot of people don't consider with a safe this size is anchoring it down. If you have your valuables in this, a thief, if they have time, they're simply going to pick the whole safe up, carry it out to where they have more time to open it. They're not necessarily going to try to fight with opening it where it is. That's where these come in handy. You've got spaces on the bottom as well as the back where you can anchor this safe down, and I strongly recommend that you do that. Let's just go ahead and get the rest of this stuff out of the way. And even though this is not a fire safe, you do get this fire resistant pouch. That way, if you have any kind of important documents or anything like that that you want to protect, you do get this to where it will help protect those documents in the event of a fire. You know, it's not very big, but depending on what you're needing, you know, you are able to get a few things in there. So we'll go ahead and set that up here out of the way as well. And overall, you can see it does have a shelf in here. That shelf is movable. You can remove it depending on how you're going to use it. I don't know if it's necessarily adjustable. Don't believe that it is, but at the same time, something like that for a safe this size, I think it's going to work well. This is where your batteries will go in. We'll go ahead and get those in here in just a few moments. You do have 3 bolts down the side, just so you can see, guys, a little bit better, just to angle you down. You got 3 bolts down the side here to lock that in place. The hinges are internal on this safe as well. That's something there if you don't have the external hinges, and it's something to look for as well. If someone were to try to get a pry bar or something in here, that's a very tight gap. Let's just bring you guys up a little bit and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, you can see the gap around that door. You know, if someone wanted to try to pry this open, that's a tight gap, and that's something very important to look for as well. Okay, if you have that tight gap, it's going to be harder for them to get a pry bar in there to pry that open. So that is a nice feature. Even though it's 16 gauge metal, at the same time, any type of safe you're trying to buy, whether you're buying a larger safe, as you can see behind this one, you can see it sitting there, one of my larger safes, or something small like this, the reality is when you are buying a safe, the only thing that you are doing is slowing down the person that's trying to get into your valuables. Okay, no matter what type of safe you have, And another thing about any safe is it's basically an advertisement, basically telling someone that that's where the goods are. So when you are buying a safe of any kind, think about where you're going to put it in your house, how you're going to have it concealed even. You know, there is a good way of concealing virtually every type of safe that's out there. And that's just, again, an extra added protection. And you can see here with this one, I do think that's a nice design. I really like the fact that it does have a very tight gap. That's something to always look for on any safe. You do have multiple ways of getting into the safe with either the keypad, the biometrics, or the key, okay? And there again, if your batteries are dead, you also have that backup where you can plug in the USB. Now that we have had a little bit of an overview of the safe, I want to take a few minutes to actually show you how to program it. You know, make sure that you keep your book. This is something that you definitely need to do. Take this book, put it somewhere other than inside the safe. Also, don't put your keys inside the safe. And, you know, keep this back somewhere because it does have the information that you're going to need to refer back to if you need to change the code or anything like that. But for now, you can see here, I literally have got it set up to where I can use my fingerprint if I would set my thumb on there properly and open the safe. And we're going to talk a little bit on how to actually program that within your safe. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around slightly because there's something that I need to show you. Inside here on the door, okay, right here, this is the battery compartment that we looked at before. There is a button. I'm just going to go ahead and open this for a bit. But right here on the left-hand side, this is the programming button for your safe. You know, this is, you're going to need to have access to that anytime you try to do the programming. Now, if you want to enter a user code, you do have the ability to enter a couple of different codes. You can enter a user code and then you can enter a master code for the safe. Now, to change the user code, you're basically just going to push that button. You will then enter your combination that you want for the safe and then press the pound key. The unit will beep a couple of times indicating that the change has been made. Now, I recommend that you do all of that with the door open. Okay, don't close the door up all the way and then try to do it in case you make a mistake. Okay, you want to have access to it, and that's another reason why you do not put your keys inside the safe. No, I did not do that. Once you have the code set up, of course, you can use your digital keypad and so on. Now, to enter the master code, I guess you could say, again, it's in the book here. Basically, what you're going to do is setting the master code for it is going to be similar, except for the fact that before you press the program button, you're actually going to press the 0 on the touch panel a couple of times. You're just going to press that twice, reach in here, press the program button, and then enter your master code followed by the pound sign, and then test it out, okay? Because you got to make sure that you hit that first before you actually hit the program button, okay? So make sure you do that. To enter or to set a fingerprint to where you can open it just with a fingerprint, what you would do is you would press the 0-1, then press the program button, and then press your whatever finger you're wanting to use for this to the touchpad about 5 times. Once you do that, it's going to beep a couple of times and then you can test it out. So it's a very functional safe. There's a lot that you can do with it. And again, guys, this is a very large safe for most folks. You could put a lot of things in here. Of course, if you're into firearms, you could put a couple of pistols in here. You could get a rack, a small rack, and actually have several of them across here if you wanted to. And of course, you do have the shelf up here, and you do have this fire-resistant envelope. Again, it's 16 gauge steel, and I can't say it enough, guys. That gap that you see around this, that is very nice, especially for a safe in this price range. You know, that is something that is, I'm going to have to say, I really like about this. That real tight gap will make it much harder to get prying tools in there on that door. But make sure with a safe this size especially, make sure you anchor it down. That goes for any safe, no matter how big or small it is. If you don't anchor it down, the thieves could just pick it up and carry it off. And then, you know, to where they have plenty of time and tools. But I have to say, it's a nice safe. I'm very impressed with it. I think that it will work well for my needs for what it is. I really appreciate the company sending it out. I will leave links down in the description below to where you guys can go over to Amazon and pick one up for yourself. But guys, I hope you liked the video. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Be sure to share the video, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on this type of a safe. Do you have one? Well, you know, what kind of things do you keep in it and that sort of thing. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel, and we will see you next time.